Hello. And we've got our screen full of everyone, and everyone else that couldn't fit on the screen are listening and watching behind.
And hundreds and hundreds of tons have lifted from my shoulders over the last few weeks by just talking honestly to people. And this includes, for example, my parents, and having real sincere conversations with them, which I always avoided and something I never did. I was just presenting to them the best version of Stefan that I can present to them, so that they leave me alone and they're not afraid of me, I don't know, feeling sad or bad or anything. So I was always in hiding. Now I stopped doing it a few weeks ago, and I started to be honest to people, sometimes maybe a little bit over the top, I don't know, but then I have to talk more to them and explain them a little bit more when I realize that this happens. But it's working really great so far, and it's helping me personally so much, and also other people. They are feeling good about it.
Number one, the joy and happiness of being liberated from the burden of our insecurities and self-preoccupations. Bing. The awesome meaning and power of finally being able to participate in the magic tree world. Bang. The wonderful empathy and equality of goodness and fellowship that understanding of the human condition now allows us to feel for our fellow humans. He said, bong. Then the freedom how to effectively focus on repairing the world. He said, bomb. And the radiant aliveness from the optimism that comes with knowing our species' march through hell has finally ended, and that human condition free world is coming, can now transform every human and thus the world. Boom.
And it was such a great idea, Sam, to talk about that personal experience. It must have been very impacting. Well, I found it quite impacting. So it was really beautiful. I mean, you're obviously a very serious young man. I certainly wasn't thinking about any of those things when I was in high school. But yeah, it was just really lovely to hear that journey that you went on.
I found that in my personal practice, because I've really gotten back into some of the things that I used to use to keep myself together, so to speak, like meditation and mindfulness and things like that. And the understanding gives it a whole different slant. You know, it's very different from the way that it's done when you don't know that the human condition has been solved, and when you don't know that it's perfectly okay, you know, to accept the fact that you are good and not bad after all, and that the world is the way it is for good reason, you know, and with that you struggle less with the world overall, and you flow more. So that's what's going on in that area.
Yeah, it's really great that we can all pull together, and we all bring a little bit something different to the table. So yeah, no, I think we're working really well with one another to get the information across. We all have different ideas too, and I think that helps a lot. So
Definitely.
I'm trying the best I can. I'm a little bit busy with finishing up my master's degree right now, but I'm trying to make this another priority of mine. So.
Well, we're very, very lucky. That's just fantastic.
Well,
Do you want to see the guys?
that's Gary.
Hi!
It was so lovely hearing your updates and seeing you all, and I'm just so glad we made it through all most of the updates. So all the updates.
That's wonderful.
And yeah, lots and lots of love to you all.
I just wanted to say I caught up with Sam a couple of weeks ago when I was in Melbourne, and it was just the highlight of my week. It was just, you know, Sam sitting there going, I just don't want to talk about shit anymore. I just want to talk about this. And it was seriously fabulous, because I've been travelling for a few days, and I'd seen Sam, and just to come across all these WTM people all over it was, and I just absolutely.
And anyway, I know we know just how glorious this product is we're selling in the Transform State, and that they were first to sell it and live it just makes this time just so special to be sharing it with you all.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's almost too much to be able to absorb that the human condition's been explained, that we can understand the human condition and therefore sort of understand ourselves, what happened to ourselves and why we lost our innocence and the naturalness and why we became angry and egocentric and selfish and our upset, the word that Stephen didn't use, but I love that word so much, and I think the way Jeremy's used that word, I think, is probably one of the most beautiful things he's given humans, because it's so compassionate and understanding of us. But in understanding the human condition, our upset is explained and defended, and therefore the best news ever about that is it's done its job. It's helped find knowledge. We can actually let go of it. It's obsoleted now. It's over, and we don't have to confront it. We don't have to look deeply into it, but we can know that it's all explained and defended and resolved, and we can just move on forward using the transformed state, put it down, and leave that way of thinking and living behind. And I mean, that's what Jeremy's written about all in his books, and our website just screams to the world, you know, the human condition is solved at last. Our necessarily selfish human condition way of living is over, and the free of the human condition selfless way of living can begin, and all humans, whether you're resigned or whether you're a sort of ship at sea stranded human, can be transformed to live a life of love, of being in love with the truth and just wanting to help everyone and share this information. But together we can overcome all those challenges and bring the transformed state to the world, because once enough people get it, it really is just unstoppable. It's a force that's coming to this planet that no one could ever believe before now. And yeah, look out.
And in terms of just what we're doing, you know, about it being so just fucking amazing to be doing what we're doing at this time on Earth. I mean, I think this is my sort of favourite thing, because this is from George Bernard Shaw, right? And he says, "This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose recognised by yourself as a mighty one." And obviously this is the fucking mightiest of all, you know, and being thoroughly worn out before you're thrown on the fucking scrap heap, being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. And I love that, because you can just spend you know, your whole life just doing exactly that, just complaining that the world will not give you what you want and it's just not going right. And now we are masters of our own destiny, and it is difficult trying to do this. It is turning the Amazon around in its bed, and you know, trying to talk to deaf people and trying to get them to hear this, and trying to be generous with them and help them and love them. I mean, on one way, and you know, you can look at it some days and it's absolutely exhausting, and the next you just realise how you know, amazing it is to be doing this, and how you finally are that master of your own destiny, being able to make a real difference in the world and to live it and change it, and just not be a victim to the world or anybody or anything anymore, and making that happen for the whole world.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Brendan. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys. Bye.